Andre SOG Ward. SOG says the fighters need an NDA. That's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, something that came across the desk. Andre Ward had posted a story where he is warning upcoming fighters that there's a lot of talk going around in terms of boxing circles and people running and jumping on podcasts right after they spar. And he was like, as a result, these fighters the first thing you should do when somebody enters your gym to spar is make them sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, right? So they can't chatty patty. And I thought it was an interesting topic, and I want to share my thoughts. I know Andre Ward. He's about his business. He has kind of like an old school mentality. So he don't play no games. Like, if you sparred Andre Ward and then ran to a podcast and then while he's in camp, right? That'll probably be the last time you sparred Andre Ward, because he's going to cut ties and he going to look at you different. Like, you untrustworthy, you unsavory, you know what I mean? It's a wrap, and I'm not trying to speak on his behalf, but I feel like I know enough and seen and know people to know him and been in his gym and stuff like that to say that. And why not? Like, he's 40, he's an Olympian, and he comes from pretty much throwback boxing. His father passed, and then Virgil steps in as kind of like a father figure, hasn't lost since he was 12. I mean, he's boxing, retired undefeated. So I 100% agree with him, because I've been saying it. Gen Z, they got the game chopped, right? And it's too much chatty patty social media stuff for my taste. And I've been in this game quite a long time as well. You know what I mean? Earning my coin and, meeting people and fighters and fans and all that. So I feel like I'm experienced enough in this realm to say that where we're at with boxing right now is different, and not in a good way, because, and I can't speak for Andre Ward, but I did see Troy Isley. He's sparring with Devin, and then he did an interview and he's saying whatever. And I'm not trying to throw him under the bus, but like, that's not snitching. That's public domain. The video is online right now. So I'm not reinventing the wheel or, leaking some storyline that nobody know. You can watch the interview right now. And I'm not mad at the people doing the interviews. I'm not even mad at the situation. Like, I mean, we're content creators. Of course, if a content creator gets a scoop and somebody's going to speak on it, that's on them. You know what I mean? So I understand both angles. So it's not really even a deal with the content creators. It's the boxers. You guys are the ones that are in this brotherhood, this fraternity, as far as the fighters, the pugilists. So I know if I was the fighter, I wouldn't want to be in camp and then people are discussing what's going on in camp, and my fight hasn't even happened. You know what I mean? That's blurring the lines for me a little bit too much, because the Devin Haney fight is a month out and now there's some type of intel. Just imagine if the military, and I can speak to this too because my dad was in the military. I was raised a military brat. We moved around and different stuff like that and lived different places. I lived in England, So coming in the military, like from a military family, need to know basis. If you don't need to know, they're not telling you. There's an order of operation, chain of command. They're very to a T, and that's how it works, right? So the military, imagine if the military got the drop on some Russian thing or whatever, whatever, and then went to social media and talked about it, right? Now you just let your ops know that you got the drop on them or this and that. Like, it just don't make sense. It don't, like, I shouldn't have to give a million examples on how it doesn't make sense to speak on certain things. Like certain information is sensitive. Like fighters are risking their life, and Brian Norman is a dangerous fight. And it's not just him. It's not just his fight with Devin. I think Andre Ward made the message because in general, you're seeing it throughout. People are like, man, I hurt him in sparring. I did this in sparring. And I don't think Andre Ward is from that credo where it's just so freely leaking the information. Maybe years later, after everybody's retired, or you did a tell-all book, like, man, I sparred Muhammad Ali, da-da-da. Now, because I feel like it's most damaging during the active part of your career or before a fight, right? Because Muhammad Ali, he's no longer with us. God rest his soul. But so if someone was like, I sparred Muhammad Ali, and you're telling these stories, it don't really matter. But if Devin, sparring partner, is doing an interview a month and a half before his fight, and then he about to fight a dangerous foe, yeah. Because guess what? All these trainers, all these fighters, they be on YouTube, they be on Twitter, they follow me. I know for a fact. They be liking my videos and post on Instagram. I know who follow me. There's a ton of celebrities, not even just boxers, celebrities that follow me, that be liking my stuff. And that's the reality of it. You know what I mean? So they're keen, they're paying attention. I agree with Andre Ward. Like, I'm from a different, like 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene, Art of War, Sun Tzu. I'm from that. You know what I mean? Strategic, strategist, you know, like samurai, like Musashi. I'm on some Musashi stuff. Miyamoto Musashi. Like, I'm not on this, like, whatever social media. That's why it's funny. And this is like not related. If you ever hear people say stuff about me or my personal life or this and that, then on here, they don't, like, nobody knows me for real. You see what I'm saying? Like, I keep my personal life like super private, and unless you in my inner circle for real, you don't really know what's going on, right? And that's by design. So if anybody like, oh, ego this and da 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 and ego blah blah blah, and they don't know. So I know they lying. I mean, you guys could believe it if you want, but that's why it never affect me. It's like it ricochet right off of me because I keep my private life private and my personal stuff. Like, so when I get on videos, you don't hear me complaining about this or that. Like, you don't think I've had things go on in my life from the inception of this channel to now? I've been doing this like 18 plus years. You know what I mean? So obviously things have come up, but I don't publicize that. I come from a family. We learn not to air out our dirty laundry type shit. You know what I mean? So this new generation, I don't know. They on some different stuff. They like chatty patty and like they'll spar on Monday and then by Thursday they done told somebody about it or posted. Like, what? So I agree with Andre Ward. It's getting out of hand. And I mean, for me, it's a double-edged sword because it's content for me. Like, if people are willing to put it out, it don't infiltrate what I'm doing, and it's views for me. But for the fighter, y'all should really be like checking that. So NDA wouldn't be a bad idea. Let me know what you guys think on this topic.